Just you wait, you faggot Jew, the trains are coming for you. Too bad, Yuval, only 32 of your friends were killed on October 7th. You should have been number 33. The only place you should be a content creator is in the crematorium. From the river to the sea means wherever your house is, we will find you. Yuval, or whatever your real non-Zionist oppressor name is, we're watching you. 3 calls from the FBI since October 7th all told me to be vigilant, to be aware. And I said, wow, what does that mean? I said, well, to the FBI, what are you doing about the reason of your call? They said, well, you have death threats, you get hundreds to thousands of hate messages across social media, and our teams have become aware. I said, well, thank you so much for this call. I just verified that you are who you are through my contacts at the White House and the State Department. What are you doing about this? They said, we're letting you know to be vigilant and aware. So I started taking Krav Maga. I'm considering getting a gun. What am I doing about it? I am being demonstratively Jewish. Can I switch to this microphone?
Yes.
One, two, test.
Was it rhetorical?
Anyway, I'm stuck to a podium and I'm a mover. I'm being demonstratively Jewish, like this. We need to be demonstratively Jewish. We cannot be the Jews trembling in the shadows. We cannot be the Jews that we have seen getting killed and put into cattle cars. It's on now? I feel like yelling because I'm angry. So thank you for the amplification in the microphone. But I'm truly effing angry. I was raised to be a Zionist. I was taught the stories of my grandparents when they finally felt comfortable to tell me what they experienced as not only Holocaust survivors, but heroes who throughout their own challenges, losing the vast majority of their friends and family, managed to always practice heroism to help other people, and not only the Jews in the concentration camps, not only the Jews who were hiding, but other people who were hiding as well. When my grandfather was rescued after being in 9 different camps during the Holocaust, it was by a black American soldier. He had never seen a black person in his entire life. He thought that he was dead. He thought, maybe now I should do Shema Yisrael and become religious again because maybe this is an angel. And he said those words. And then he realized that that person was an angel. That person was an ally who stepped up to do what is right for the Jewish people and for humanity. Who are our allies now? I've been posting on social media a lot. I'm on the news a lot. I have turned my life's work, especially the work that I've done truly for the past 15 to 20 years, advancing my career as an actor, as a director, as a filmmaker, as a creative, advancing my work in media, and within the progressive, liberal, and LGBTQ communities that I'm very much part of. And everything since October 7th has become dedicated to Jewish advocacy and activism more than ever before. Before October 7th, over the last maybe 5 to 10 years, the Jewish advocacy has been taking up 1/3 of my time. Then it started to take up half of my time. Now it takes up all of my time because I am at war. We are at war. We didn't decide to be at war. Somebody else started it. But we need to be those strong Jews who are unafraid to be demonstratively Jewish, who are unafraid to show up at these events and not just talk to each other and be empowered by our community, but turn things into action items. How can I help you? What do you need? How can I help you? You're doing amazing things, and I just heard you speak, and I already know how I want to help you. Let's connect. I don't know you yet, but I want to. Right? It's those types of things. We need to be that community. Because I don't know about you. I feel like I lost 80% of my friends who turned their backs upon me, upon us, upon the Jewish people, upon Israel. And then I thought, did they actually turn their backs, or did they never really have our backs to begin with? These are people who came over for Shabbat dinner. These are people who were my +1 at fabulous industry events. And I said, oh, I'm going to this event, come with me. They're going to be a gift bag, you know? They're like, oh, great. And they were with me at my highs. 32 friends of mine were murdered and 2 were held hostage. 1 was released just a couple days ago. One still at night. So when I talk about losing friends, they were taken from me. They were taken from us. And when I speak about the amount of friends that I have who are now in blessed memory, through the Jewish advocacy and activism that I dedicate everything to, I encounter people who lost 70. And the betrayal that I feel from the friends who should be by my side. The ones who it took 51 days for them to reach out and say, hey, just thinking about you because things are crazy and I don't know how to wrap my head around all of this and which side I should be on. And I respond and say, my friend Shani was murdered in front of her daughters. My friend Itai had his penis cut off and it was put into his mouth, and they filmed it on his phone and sent it to all contacts and WhatsApp. So when I thought I was getting a message from him that he's okay, I saw how he died. And when I go through the list and share this information with the friends who are so bold to reach out and send a text, and it takes them days to respond, or they respond in a pithy way, and I think I'm the person who would pick up the phone and call. If I know that somebody in your family or that you yourself are experiencing a hardship, I will call you and I will leave the message, hey, it's Yuval. I know you're going through challenging times. I'm just leaving you this voicemail message. You don't have to call me back. I just want you to know that I'm here for you. I'm thinking about you. I wish to help you. Reach out whenever you want, and otherwise, I will call you again. Don't know if you'll hear this message, but I love you. And then I will call again. And I want people to do the same thing, and they're not. I have worked so hard to be an inclusion activist who practices radical acceptance, who brings everybody to the table. And you know what? If you disagree with me, I'm even more excited to talk to you, because I believe in democracy. I focus on the values that make me a strong Jew, that makes me a Jew who knows that I must take care of my people just as much as I take care of my neighbors. But what am I supposed to do when the work that I've done with Rainbow Railroad to rescue LGBTQ people and women out of dangerous and life-threatening situations internationally, along with collaborating with the State Department and the White House and Dignity LGBTQI and all of these organizations that I can list because I've worked with them and supported them? And last week I received a message from a gay man I helped escape Afghanistan and managed to get $15,000 into Afghanistan. Not an easy thing to get money into Afghanistan, because he was getting raped on a weekly basis by the Taliban, because that was punishment for his being gay. As a gay man, I don't think it matters if you're on which side of the sexual act. But they think that that is a punishment. I helped him get out with his mother through the Pakistani border, and he now lives in Canada. Last week he sent me a message, Yuval, I'm disgusted with you. You are a Zionist pig of the entity that oppresses Palestinians and subjugates the Muslim people. And I want you to know that I support Hamas. And I thought, do I even respond? I saved your life. Well, let me not take all the credit. I helped save your life from the Taliban, from an Islamist group, and you are alive and well in Canada. And I see your posts walking around wearing much less clothing than you would have worn in Afghanistan. So how do I wrap my head around these things? I am even thinking, do I still call myself a progressive? I believe in progress. I believe in liberalism. I believe in Zionism as a liberal progressive movement. It's an inclusive movement. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish or Christian or Muslim. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Do you believe in the self-actualization of the Jewish people as an indigenous people in the connection to our homeland? It's inclusive of anybody who agrees that Jews have a right to life, that Jewish lives matter. So when I hear people hijacking and taking hostage the words of true human rights and civil rights, can I still use those words? Am I still part of that community? As Queers for Palestine sends me messages on social media constantly, because apparently I'm a pink washer. Maybe I should have worn pink instead of blue and white. It doesn't make sense. If you support women's rights, gender equality, if you support freedom of expression, you should support any democracy that supports that or at least talks about it. And that's where I draw the line about the nations that I support. Is this nation a democracy? Does it have women's rights? Does it have LGBTQ rights? Check, check, check. Great, I support you. You don't support any of those things, then I'm against that nation. So how do I do this battle? It's how we do this battle. How can we say, Am Israel Chai? It's by being loud, it's by being demonstratively Jewish, it's by being Jew first, whether they remind us that we are, or we say so ourselves, that our pronouns are he, him, his, in my case, Jew, Zionist. Those are my pronouns, and I will proudly wear that. We understand where we came from. I understand that my parents fought in the Yom Kippur War. I understand what my grandparents went through as Holocaust survivors who then went into battle to fight for the existence. And my grandfather, this very tough, strong, super street smart man, and my grandmother, marvelously street smart, but you wouldn't know it. And she was the woman who would say, behind every dark cloud, the sun is still shining. And she was always moved by the Zionist spirit, the Zionist spirit. And it was that hopefulness that helped her. And I find myself leaning towards that now, because I am angry. I'm angry about the people who are out there chanting against us. Because if you're saying you're anti-Israel, but you're chanting gas the Jews, and if you're anti-Israel and you're against Jews congregating as we are here, you are not anti-Israel, you are anti-Semitic. We need to call that out, and we need to use the language of the civil rights and social justice movements. I've suggested for some people, look at what Black Lives Matter says, look at what the women's movement says, look at what the LGBTQ movement says, look at that language, take out LGBTQ, take out Black, take out Indigenous, take out Native American, take out whatever it is, and put the word in Jew. The values are the same. Nobody should be able to argue that. But if they do, they are anti-Semitic, they are anti-Jewish. I always said, tough times create strong people. Strong people create easy times. Easy times create weak people. And weak people create tough times. Which type of person are you? Are you a strong person? Are you a weak person? Are you a person who waits for somebody else to take those first steps and for you to follow? Or are you taking the first steps and shining the path for people to follow with you? Or amplifying their voices so they can go further? Right now, none of us expected to be in these tough times, but it's a fact. The war has started, and it's a war we must fight, no matter how we fight it. We need to be the strong Jews. We need to be the Zionist Jews who are singing the songs and who are amplifying each other. Because once again, our people are becoming insular. At least that's what I'm experiencing. I have new friends who I just for the first time met here in person. And I feel like we've known each other for a long time. We've been chatting on WhatsApp, I don't know how many months, right? Well, actually since October 7th. And I feel closer to them than I feel to people I've known since college. Thankfully, I went to a Jewish day school, so my really old friends were all in the same boat. So I think about what actions are. What is it that we can do? Let's think about the narrative. Let's think about how we can be activists and advocates. I used to say you don't have to be a historian, you don't have to know everything about Jewish history and everything about the Israeli Knesset. But know how to represent yourself. Who are you? What is your identity? What is your intersectional identity? Let's use the language of identity politics. You are all of you all the time. You're a Jew. Are you a Zionist? Are you a woman? Are you queer? Are you straight? Do you believe in abortion rights? Are you a writer? Are you a teacher? Whatever it is, look at every part of your identity. You are all of you all the time. Say, I am all of me all the time. Every place that I am. And nobody can take part of you away. You are always a daughter. You will always be a daughter. Nobody can take that away from you. We need to be all of me all the time, everywhere we go. And know how to advocate for ourselves. If you know how to advocate for yourself, you know how to advocate for your family and your friends. That's your community. If you know how to advocate for yourself, your family, and your friends, and your community, you now know how to advocate for your greater society, or dare I say your nation, your Am Israel. We need to boldly be able to do that. And when we encounter the hate and the vitriol of people yelling and spewing emotions because they don't have the facts, can we be that strong person who stands there and is ready to just have that conversation and say, oh, I see that you're angry and you're emotional right now. Tell me, what is making you so emotional about Israel and Palestine? What is making you so emotional about the Israeli-Arab conflict? Oh, that's what makes you emotional? Yeah. Are you Jewish? Yes, no. Are you Muslim? Yes, no. Are you Middle Easterner? Yes, no. Let's really talk about it and bring it down. We also need to think about, do we need to engage with those highly emotional people who are anti-Semitic? If you want to, go for it. But I also reached a point that I just refer to them as losers. I refer to them as horrible, evil. I use a lot of words. Because they are. And I cannot let the anger take over me. I must let hatikva take over me. I must let the optimism take over me. Because I know what it means to be a Jew that focuses on planting a tree under which is shade I will never sit. I know what it means to be a Zionist Jew. I know what it means to focus on the next generation and to make sure that my neighbors are doing well, even better than I am. How can I amplify them? How can I help them? So I lean on that. But I'm not going to lie, I cry every single day. Two of my friends who were killed,
They couldn't have kids on their own. They tried IVF and it didn't work. And they ended up being very proud because the adoption paperwork just went through. So their once orphaned kids became twice orphaned kids. And you know what to be a Jew is to know that our sadness makes our happiness so much more important. And when we fight anti-Semitism, and it's a fight that we must do, it's a fight for our existence, this existential threat, we're seeing it on social media, we're seeing it in major cities around the world, we're seeing it on college campuses. Our fight must include being fabulous, being spectacular, being beautiful, being cool, being sexy, being strong, being the amazing Jews that we are. So when you walk down that street, strut down the street. When you are challenged, know that you can lean into the challenge, because great things don't happen when things are easy. Look at what our people have done when horrible things have happened to us. When there's been genocides, when there's been a Farhud, when there's been the Shoah, when there have been pogroms, when we've been attacked, when our mezuzot are taken off our doors, when college campuses are seeing horrible things happening to students, when we get calls from the FBI. What can we do to remember Hashemesh tamid zoachat, ma'acholei kol anan, the sun is always shining? How can we say Am Yisrael Chai? It's by focusing on ma'aseh, on the actions, what we can do. So right now, I would like everybody to pull out your phone. Right now, we're going to do a selfie video, everybody at the same exact time, and I implore you to later post it on social media. Everybody pull out your cell phones right now into selfie video mode. And let's all stand up. Let's just do it. Everybody stand up, because you said you can stand. We've been sitting here.
You always look fabulous.
I want you on as loud or however you wish. You can turn, choose, be your own cinematographer. I want you to say your name and Am Yisrael Chai. Let's start filming right now. Make it loud. Go for it. Am Yisrael Chai. Keep doing it now. Keep filming one more. Am Yisrael Chai. 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 To say Am Yisrael Chai is upon us. We are the generations that are going to let our people step further forward and help those younger than us go even further than us. Am Yisrael Chai. Toda rabah.